so much for coming in here today.
Yeah, it's no problem. My parents and doctors, they really made me be here today.
Okay, well, I understand they're really wanting you to get into a treatment facility, and that's a lot to take on right now.
Yeah.
And despite them making you come, it is really hard to get in the door and to be here. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. And I wanted you to know, too, that this is going to be about us together. And I want to hear where your head is at with the weight that you've lost and to kind of see how you're processing this. And then we can come up with some personal goals together.
Yeah, I'd rather work with just us because I feel like I'm fine. And my parents and doctors, they don't really know what's going on.
Okay, so this we talk with your family is probably starting to feel like that they think they know what's going on, and it doesn't really feel like you're understanding your side of the story.
Yeah, it's really rigid how they want me to live my life, and I feel like I'm doing a good job right now.
So maybe they just don't see things the same way as you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you help me understand a plan that's in line with your personal goals?
Yeah, so I am a ballerina, and I work really hard to maintain a good weight and stay healthy and slim. And so that is what I really am working towards right now.
Okay. Well, I would want to hear then from your perspective. I know your parents and doctors have told me you've lost 30 pounds in the last 4 months, so I was hoping that you could tell me from your perspective what that has been about or how that drop happened.
Well, it was purposeful. I work out a lot. I exercise a lot. I do a lot of ballet anyway, and so I'm really active. Maybe I stopped eating a little bit, but not too much. I really did it because I have to be lifted up on stage a lot, and I feel like that really helps the other ballerina out for me to maintain a low weight.
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about maintaining? So, your parents obviously see it as a concerning decrease. And you did find yourself in the hospital this last time from fainting. Do you see this maintaining as maybe going a little too far?
Maybe. I mean, I've fainted a few times, but it's not a big deal.
Okay. It's just part of the ballerina lifestyle.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, maybe not the fainting part, but the being petite and working hard is definitely part of the ballerina lifestyle.
Okay. So maybe as we're going on in this session, we can talk and think about a little bit more maybe how to keep your maintaining from going to those more scary places of fainting and see how that goes. So you feel like you're working towards reaching your goals right now, essentially, and that others just can't really understand, that maybe they're holding you back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Rachel, were there other times that you fainted besides this last time?
Yeah, I think this was my 5th time. I fainted at a party before. I fainted at school in practice, so just a few times.
Okay. And did these instances, did they just feel routine, like that was supposed to be happening, or were there any times where you kind of thought, maybe this isn't okay, or this isn't what I want?
Well, it was a little scary. The time at the party was probably the most scary because everyone was drinking. It was kind of a bigger party, so that was a little more scary. But I mean, I feel like people sometimes faint at practice because it's hard work. So that's kind of normal sometimes.
Was it scary maybe at a party that maybe not everyone knows you? Maybe they're drinking too and they don't know what's going on with you, so maybe a little unsafe there?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, a lot of them were drunk, and so that was unsafe. Thankfully, one of my good friends wasn't, and she was able to help me, and she was there with me when all that happened. And so if it wasn't for her, I don't know what would have happened.
Your mom said that this past time at the hospital that they had to restart your heart. How did you feel coming from that time?
Yeah, that's kind of scary. It feels more extreme than just kind of blacking out.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely terrifying, and I'm very sorry to hear that it's come to that point. But
Thanks.
but it still seems like you're saying you do feel like your family is trying to hold you down in some way from your goals.
Yeah, I do still feel like they don't quite understand. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of things I want to do with my life,
And it feels like you're getting your grades, you're doing what you need to do. So
yeah, exactly. I'm getting my grades. I've got good roles in the plays. I'm kind of doing what I want to do.
your dad told me that you applied to Stanford and that
Mm-hmm.
you study a lot.
Yeah.
That you want to do neuroscience. He said though that you could be pulled out of school for a long time if treatment takes that long. If we don't get you in soon, then you might have to be pulled out of school for a while.
Maybe, yeah. Well, we can just get this figured out here. Maybe you could push it on through.
Okay. Well, I think that will be on you to decide. But let's continue talking about a little bit how you got to this point and maybe what things we want to think about for the future and what your goals would be. So, exactly in your family? It seems like there's some frustration there.
Yeah. I've always kind of had a hard time with my family. So my dad is a little overweight. So is my sister. When I was younger, I was kind of a little pudgy, and I felt like people were mean to me. And then I started losing some weight, and I got more friends, and it seemed to work well for me.
So you see your health standards as being different than your family's health standards.
Yeah, I feel like they're overweight and they don't eat well and they don't exercise well, and I don't want to be like that.
Can you tell me what being healthy means to you, what your definition of healthy is? Because everyone kind of looks at it differently, so it's important to know what that means to you.
Well, I do think eating well and exercising well is part of it. There's a ballerina I really look up to named Amanda Palmer, and I feel like I would like to look like her and be like her.
Okay, so she's kind of your example to go to of being healthy and balanced.
Yeah, she's what healthy looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna look her up and just kind of see maybe what her health statistics are. If she seems to be doing well, maybe you could just see.
Well, I already know a lot about her because I tried to do my eating routine like her. I kind of tried to stay on her regimen.
Okay, well, it says here that she is 5'7", same as you. I have from your charts.
Yeah.
And that she weighs 120 pounds. And your charts say 95 pounds. So I know that everyone is built differently, but do you kind of see that as a little bit of a disparity?
I guess a little bit, yeah. I mean, maybe I got too competitive against Amanda Palmer, but...
I mean, that's good insight to see that, anything that we try to see as healthy and balanced, we can run wild or get competitive with it. And you're good at dancing. It makes sense that you want to be doing better.
Yeah.
It also said here that Amanda Palmer went to NYU and went to school, and I know you want to go to Stanford. Is that something that's important to you as well?
Yeah, it really is, especially if I could get a dance scholarship. That's really important to me.
Yeah. Do you see any of these events that happened kind of taking away from your academic life or studying or...
Well, I have noticed in school I feel like a little more cloudy some days, and it's kind of harder for me to get my work done.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you've noticed your head being a little cloudy. That's good insight. So it seems like you value health, but you also value academics. Can you tell me something else that you find important in a balanced life?
Definitely friendships. I really value having friends.
Yeah? Can you tell me a little bit about your friend group, things that you like to do?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned my one good friend who helped me at the party. So she's probably my closest friend. I have other friends. We used to hang out every Sunday, but we've kind of had a little bit of a break. It's just been a little more stressful
Okay.
for all of us.
Okay. Can you think of an instance why it might be a little more stressful?
Well, we would always hang out on Sundays and go get ice cream, but I don't want to have ice cream anymore. So I didn't go as much.
Okay. So you've kind of seen how your food restriction might be harming both academics and friendships a little bit.
Yeah, I do feel like my friends pulled away from me a little bit because of it.
Can you help me understand? So it seems like your value of health is particularly important to you at this time. Will you help me understand why that is?
Yeah, just back to when I was fat, people were really mean to me. I kind of felt like I was bullied a lot, and so I just didn't want to go through that ever again.
That makes sense. So it's kind of a way of managing that insecurity and being prepared and on the defense against others.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I'm getting back at them and showing them that I'm not just a fat girl.
So you're kind of redeeming that difficult time in a way with all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Well, you've expressed valuing your health, valuing intellect, and healthy friendships. Do you kind of remember a time in your past where that did feel balanced and it did feel like healthy and...
Yeah, last year was a really good year for me. I felt I had a good part in the ballet. I got a 34 in my ACT.
Wow.
My friends and I just had a lot of good times together. But I guess I got a little extreme. Once I started losing weight, I didn't sleep as much, and I was kind of cranky, and so people don't want to be around me as much. And
That's amazing you have a picture of kind of that balanced time, and I'd love to be able to figure out how to kind of get you to that place where it feels balanced and you're feeling fulfilled in your friendships and all of that. Does that sound like something you want?
Yeah, I definitely want my friendships to get back to the way that they were.
Okay. And all these values aside, I know you want to be the best student and you want to be the best dancer you can be in it. It seems like you've recognized that your health maintenance is not really even getting you to those points from what you've said. And maybe a little food management may give you the stamina for dance and the mental clarity that you need for school. So those are all pros we see. Are there any cons? What would be the con for you about going into treatment?
Well, eating more and more, I think, would just make me feel disgusting. It would be a lot to handle.
You want to find the healthy medium, but it'll just be too unbearable to see those pounds come back.
Right, exactly. I'm so used to not having them. It'll be hard to have them come back.
Well, Rachel, just from what I've seen, you've worked so hard in school all these years, and you're really intelligent, and you've made great friends. And this is a really exciting time in your life, and it's also a really important time in your life. It's very pivotal because you're kind of deciding for yourself how to get that balance, how to actually get into school, and how to get to those places.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now in my life. So how long do you think this whole recovery thing is going to take?
Okay. Well, if you're interested, it's all up to you. It's kind of the more time and effort you put into it, the quicker that you can get out of recovery. And then, it's really kind of in your hands. I think the hospital has procedures for a reason, but I think the education that they can give you would help you kind of redefine a new healthy for yourself. And in that way, maybe get back to that picture of what you had last year and kind of get to the person you want to be in the future too. Yeah. So, does that sound like it would be good to you?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I do want my friendships back, and I don't want to be fainting, and I want to go to Stanford. So it does feel like that could be helpful.
Yeah.
Just really want to go home and get back to normal life.
I want that for you too, and it's going to be quite a process, but I'm excited that you're moving towards that, and you can kind of see that it's going to get you there. So I'm excited. I hope that we can talk more in our next session, but we'll talk to your parents about getting you into that program.
Definitely.
Thanks,
so
Rachel.
Much. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
That was exactly
that was
15
fine.
minutes.